I had a company ask me once, we have dealers visit our website. We want to know what their phone numbers are within 5 minutes of them landing on our website. So I created a package that ran every 5 minutes. It ran the batch file every 5 minutes. Okay, and it updated the output Excel file with the actual phone numbers of the people that visited the website. How in the world did I do that? I tracked their internet connection names from their visitor tracking, and I had web scraper go to Yellow Pages, look it up, grab the phone number, put it in the database, and just update it on their desktop. I had the batch file do all that. It was nothing. Now, how did I make it run every 5 minutes? Okay, first, this is going to be closed to everyone. It's going to have the robots tags turned off for Google. Google is going to be forbidden from scraping it. You're never going to be able to read what's going on in here. This is exclusive. If you're in, you can't believe the stuff you're going to learn. Over the course of just your first couple of days, your first week, your first month, it's insane. Later, we're going to use this stuff with Moji to do things you've never imagined. You can go see the 100 hottest searches on Google in the last hour, and then you can auto-generate pages by scraping and producing the content data. What macros produces, the Moji pages, and auto-FTP, a little program you download, will automatically update it to your website. And then you're going to have a second package running on Web Scraper Plus in its own batch file, another batch file that's going to be on its own schedule. And it's going to check your visitor tracking to see which of your pages are getting traffic and which aren't all the time. It's going to be like every hour. And whichever, or however often you want, like every couple of days, whichever ones that aren't getting traffic at a certain point, then we're going to remove those pages. We're going to pull them down. That's a batch file. If a condition is met, delete those pages. We can do that in our batch files. Bet you didn't imagine you could do that. So anyway, you won't be able to get in here unless you own those two, and no one else can see what's going on. They can't study it in Google. Feel completely free to develop your wild rears off, because now we're putting you on a par with internet marketers. They know this stuff can be done, like what you would do here, but they don't know how, because they're not techies. 99% of the time, the internet marketers are hiring programmers to build stuff, and then they take those packages and sell them to you. And those packages run for who knows how long, a month, 2, 3, and then usually they die out or they get obsolete. So why keep buying them and buying them and buying them? How many of you guys buy like 50 bucks worth of stuff per paycheck to try out? And it's like 100 bucks a month maybe, if you get paid every other week. It's like 1,200 bucks a year. Okay, I say don't. When somebody said Leads Evolution, get you all the leads you want, I thought, and it's for $4,000. I thought, why buy that for $4,000, man, when I can build my own? I know how. See what I mean? And I built whatever I felt like building out of it. You can do anything. By the time you get done with this stuff, like a month from now, you can walk into any company, ask them what they want to automate. They'll tell you what their biggest thing they need to automate because it's their biggest slowdown or whatever. It's something that they just would love to automate. And you'll say, fine, I'll come back in a couple of days and automate it. And you can sell for anything. Let me give you an example. I had a company say, hey, we got our whole catalog online, but we don't have any process inventory control. Okay, so we don't know how many parts we have in the back compared to what the website's saying until we set everyone down to visit all of the pages on our own website to write down the numbers and compare them to what the last numbers were. Now that's just insane. So they got to open some sheet where they had their old numbers and they have to compare to the new. And the only way they could do it was by visiting all their web pages. So they had 5 people, and about every other week, they had to close down the shop basically for like 8 to 10 hours to get through the process. And I said, you do this every other week then to keep up? And he said, yeah, holidays are horrible. Imagine what Christmas is like, or New Year's or something. And then how many people get mad when we have to refund them and they thought they had that gift figured out for their husband, their daughter, their wife, whatever. And so I said, all right, how's this? If every other week you got to pay 5 guys for 10 hours to sit there and hammer this out, what are you losing? And we did the math. And it was like 24,000 bucks a year, and the guy had done it for 3 years already. So he'd already spent like 72,000 bucks trying to maintain process inventory in the last 3 years. And not only that, but it was tying up his workforce for, what is that again? It was like 50 hours every other, like 100 hours a month. That's right, 1,200 man hours a year, or 3,600 for 3 years. And he was expecting to do the exact same thing again for the next 3 years. He said, look, tell you what. I'm going to build you this package that automatically goes through your website, gets all the values for you, compares them to your last numbers. Anything that's changed, that's going to be the list you see. It'll take about 10 minutes to run, and it'll wake the computer to run the task at midnight, so no one's on it. Okay, and then when it's done, it'll put the computer back to sleep again, and it'll just give you the final answer. And you will save 1,200 man hours a year, so you can use those guys for other things. You won't have to close down the shop for the day. And it will also save you, like 24,000 bucks a year. So I'm going to build this. It'll take me a couple days. I'll come back, test it with you, make sure your people know how to use it, and you owe me 9,500 bucks. Fair? The guy says, okay. So you go build it, bring it in, test it out, make sure it's good. If you have to, heck, man, you're going to buy Web Scraper Plus and Web Macros and install them on the guy's computer if you want to run it there. Because who cares? It's like $1,000. So do that because you're getting a $9,500 check. You can download the trials, make sure he's happy with it, and he's going to pay you the check. You got 21 days, and then unlock it after your check cleared. So a couple of days of work, you get your $9,500 check. Now you got all month to blow it. Heck, and even after the $1,000 on the software, it's still like $8,500. And if you did 10 of those a year, you're making 85 grand a year. And yet you're only working like 3 weeks a year. And that's aside from any other thing you have running on your computer while you're gone. Because what if you're mailing 3,600 people an hour, or replying to them, and you're doing that also? And that's happening just constantly with whatever messages you want. And what if you're building other things for other clients on the side because you're really into it, you know? Take this seriously, because this, I don't see any internet marketers teaching you how to do this stuff on your own. I don't see anyone teaching you how to do this on your own. Hey, one more thing. When I was showing you this, okay, I'm going to let you in on a little thing here, all right? Let's say I'm recording. Let me show you how hard it is to create something in here, because you saw a page with all this coding, all right? Let me show you something. Backpage.com. Okay, I'm going to go there. Notice how it pre-filled the command for me. Let me stop this for a second while I navigate. I'm going to go right to a reply link. Okay, now this isn't going to be the whole thing, but this is going to make sense. Let me go back. Okay, watch this. I record. I go to link I want. Oh, in this case, it just recorded the forward command. And it'll record the back command because it can. Okay. All right. Ready? Watch this. Reply, click here. Okay. So it clicked on a link. I'll click here. All right. That's part of it. Then what's it going to do? Let's enter our email address. bob@msn.com. Tab. Look at that. It entered this for me. And that little extra character is just something it throws in. Kick it out. Enter in the input from bob@msn.com. And now we're going to go on to our next line. Watch this. bob@msn.com. Then we go to our next line. And again, it's auto-filling the stuff for me. How many of you guys were looking at the code and saying, my gosh, that code looks so complex, I'm never going to figure it out, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's not true. You're going to hit tab, and it just enters into the text area, and it figured out the number for the text area. And it entered whatever it was supposed to be. Got the quotes in the next line? Fine, I can pull it off. Let me show you another trick just to help you understand the automation. Maybe I don't want to use just one email address. I'm going to use a new command. Look at this, view my information. These are some automated fill-in boxes. Just put the # before the name of the box. Okay, and you can stick the forms right up in here. So let's say I want to use an email called bob@msn.com. I update the thing. Okay, guess what? Now I can just say, oops, input from email. Now is that not nuts? And I can copy that and paste that here. Okay, boom. Oops. All right, let me just do it.